and he reassured everyone that he was going to do the work required to quit for Ali, tweeting, "I got work to do a lot." And you can imagine when parasocial fans found out Ali was the one not enabling
This is gonna be the Razb interview. Exclusive No Jumper members only interview.
See, Ali may have said one thing, but her actions told a whole another story. For starters, if you take a trip to YouTube, there are compilations of Ali's body being a horrible influence on Juice WRLD. For example, in one video, Ali says weed isn't allowed in the household, but takes them as well.
Remember B2K?
Juice alluded to her encouraging substances in that song. Juice said, "Maybe it's the love, maybe it's the drug, maybe it's because my girlfriend is the plug." Starfire, Juice's girlfriend before Ali, stated that Ali was very weird to Juice in several tweets while Juice and Starfire were together. I never checked Jared's phone once. And Ali
No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world, and I am honored today to have my man Razb sitting across from me. How you feeling, G?
I'm feeling blessed and happy to be here. Thanks for the invitation.
Hell yeah, man. No, I'm excited to have a conversation with you.
Nah, man, let's jump right in, man. Salute to you, like we was talking off camera, man. We're a little over 10 years now.
Yeah.
You know, you definitely be looking out for the underdog. So, you know, just want to salute to you for sharing your platform.
You still feel like the underdog?
Not me. I wouldn't call myself an underdog, but I just noticed that you allow for a lot of up and coming artists to come on your platform.
Yeah. That's kind of how we got going in the first place.
I think that's dope because like you're the people champ.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
So I was just checking you out. I'm like, all right, go ahead.
Hell yeah, man. So let's go all the way back to the beginning. Tell us a little bit about where you're from, just for the people who are not familiar with your come up story and everything.
What's up, everybody out there? My name is Demario Monte Thornton, publicly known as Razb of the legendary group B2K.
Yeah.
I was born in Cleveland, Ohio. My mom, my dad went to jail at a very young age, so I grew up without a father. You know, my mom moved to Oakland when I was about 8.5 months.
Oh, okay. What'd your dad get locked up for?
Shit, I don't know.
Okay.
I have to look that up.
But you never had a relationship with him? Or?
I have a relationship with him now, but he was out of my life for 8 years. So, grew up without a father.
But so in Ohio till what age?
So no, it's about like my mom brought me to California, to Oakland about like 10 months.
Oh, okay. So super early on. All right.
Yeah, super early on right there. Probably there for about a year. And then my mom moved to Los Angeles, where I grew up on 10th Avenue, Slauson and Crenshaw.
Right. Definitely. So you don't really have a lot of memories of up north?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
Only time when I go back for touring, see the family, stuff like that. But, that's where I'm from.
Compare your upbringing in LA to the average kid. Like, how much crazy shit did you have to deal with? How did you adapt?
My upbringing in LA, being around the wrong crowd can influence your behavior. So it's like, a little petty theft. Petty theft turns into, so many other things. And thank God that, at around about 12 or 13, I went to go live with a family member, my cousin. And from there, I was granted an opportunity to be a part of a group. So, my upbringing just in LA alone, literally, you go from a joyride. I'm just a passenger, but now you're around that behavior, right?
Yeah.
You're stealing bikes, like all that little shit. So petty theft, man. I spent like 3 days in McLaren Hall, and I was like, and then I was on house arrest, and that gave me, that wake up call that I needed at a young age.
Really? So by what age did you kind of feel like the wake up call had fully processed?
Being in jail for like 3 days, you know what I'm saying? Like as a juvenile, I don't want to be there. And, that was like for like possession of sales. I remember I had like someone gave me like $5 bags of weed. And I was walking down the street. It's actually on a school day too. So the police, like, what are you doing out on a school day? And that's how that happened, bro. So I just look back and I just like, that was a wake up call for me, bro.
Okay. And so how long after that did the music stuff start to move?
The music stuff started for me around like 12 and a half, 13, you know what I mean? Just like any other family, like growing up in a broken home, I just want to go back a little bit. My mom experienced some domestic violence. So stepfather doing like 25 to life, you know what I mean? Just give a little context on my life.
So totally unrelated to anything involving your dad, who also did a bunch of jail time. Yeah. So your mom at some point marries another guy.
Yep.
And then that was abusive.
I see some abusive stuff. Thank God that, she got out of that, but just looking at life and, living in the hood and just seeing how, I was blessed with an opportunity to around like 11, 12, 13, around those ages. That's when I started to move heavily into the music industry.
Who recognized your talent first, or were you just like crazy motivated on your own?
Well, I would have to say like my brother recognized my talent, and my cousin Chris Stokes, you know what I mean? Which, recognized my talent and gave me an opportunity, which was pretty cool.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
And was it just purely like your singing ability, or were they looking at you like, oh, he's got the moves, he got the star power?
You know what? I would have to say that I was positioned. I would definitely think that I had a little bit of talent. I could sing and dance, but I would definitely say I was positioned more so. So, and given that opportunity, I was able to grow into my craft even more.
Okay, so looking back on it, does it feel like, if it was purely about talent, you wouldn't necessarily have that opportunity?
Good freaking question. I mean, I don't know if it was my dream. I believe my brother was more inspired and more ambitious in pursuing a music career, right? If I was like the perfect fit for the right group that had popped up, which was 5 members, myself, Jaheed, Trey, and Jay Boy, Little Fizz, and myself. It was like 5 of us in a group. One of those brothers was actually Janae Aiko's brother. So it was pretty cool. And I think I was positioned.
Okay.
You got somebody in the business, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like you can give me a job today and say, all right, I'm putting you on. Boom. Here you go.
But then they're going to be like, oh, he's industry planted into his podcasting career. That's what they say now.
Now, I'm not going to put myself down. I definitely had talent, because if I didn't have the talent, I wouldn't have been able to make the group, right? But it's like, I'm positioned in a group, and then, I got someone who has a foot, in the industry. That brings a lot of, if you think of politics, that brings a lot of weight to the group, you know what I'm saying? So
for sure. Okay, just side tangent. The other day, my wife was having a conversation with me because she was a huge B2K fan as a child and everything. Wow, but she mentioned, she's like, when are boy bands going to come back?
Yeah,
we kind of had a whole conversation about why it may or may not work in the modern landscape, and I don't know, like what are your thoughts on that? Is it still a viable model?
I mean, I still believe that it's and I recommend that we take a look at Korea, right? For their model. I mean, with BTS getting ready to come back and go on $1 billion run, which is going to be crazy, right? I believe it's still viable in our culture. I don't know how it would work. We would need like another edgy Pretty Ricky or edgy Jodeci, you know what I mean? Mix, I don't know. That's a good question.
Because I think at least part of the problem is that the fans kind of pick their heartthrobs now. Like they're on TikTok, because the boy band market is like mainly aimed at like elementary school level girls, junior high, just young chicks in general. And I feel like nowadays they pick the guys on TikTok that they want to be fans of. And I just wonder like if it would work now, because it feels like maybe the group isn't as valuable.
We would have to see. So it would take a label, because I know Def Jam and I know there's a few different labels that are developing groups right now. They would have to really, give the group a push. I believe B2K was really special. We had Tommy Mottola. He gave us the real push during that time. Obviously, it was the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC was out around that time, and we were competing at a high level. And it's dope that we're coming back, to finish what we started, right? So I'm excited about the things we got on the table. But to sum that question up, I may have to come back to you and text you, be like, yo, bro, I'm still thinking about that one.
Yeah.
Like clearly, summarizing. We got Korea, it's over there, but in our culture, what would that look like now, today?
Right, because
how everything is.
When you look at like NSYNC or Backstreet Boys, like objectively looking at it now, at least some of those dudes were not really the heartthrob type, right?
And NSYNC, when you look back,
but it worked because the first 1 or 2 dudes on there, the girls are going crazy for them, and then the other guys like, okay, you could sing, so you're in the mix. I don't know.
Yeah, man. I mean, we would have to see it. Someone asked me what would I be, how would I feel about, like, would I be interested in putting together a boys group? And I've always thought about that. My entire career. Yeah, I don't know how it would be done. I mean, you got how do you do you make like a traditional boys group, or do you mix it up with like a little Uzi Vert and you know what I'm saying, like four cats, like with some energy like that?
And do you try to go like
with our culture per se?
Okay, do you try to go authentic and have it be like 5 dudes who might really hang out, or are you like, okay, we got the dreadhead dude, we got the Asian guy, we got the skinny nerdy white guy, like, I don't know, like give everybody a little bit of something. I don't know, that sounds probably not good. Like I don't think that would work. I think authentic's probably better.
I mean, I see what I'm saying. The authentic is better, especially if they came up. But putting the group together, I mean, it could and can work. What I mean? We've seen it, but Well,
okay, I'll take it even a step further. The other day, I was listening to a podcast, and they said there's basically no male pop stars besides like what's his name? The fucking Harry Styles.
Oh, like right now.
Now, if we extend out to like R&B and hip hop, okay, like obviously there's star
Right.
rappers, but like a male pop star,
Right.
And there's tons of female pop
What's that
stars
dude
now.
who's doing all the flips and shit?
Benson Boone.
Yo, he's fire.
I was not sure if you would know about him,
Yeah,
but
no, he's
I
fire.
actually do like his music.
Yeah, he's fire. I'm getting into him right now.
Yeah.
Like, so he's the game is always changing. There's always gonna be some new cats. So I'll have to agree with you. Like, who is like the male pop star that's like that hasn't had their time? And I believe every king and queen gets their time to run the land.
Yeah.
And some of these people are trying to hang on. Some of these people are just legendary and iconic in what they do. But the industry and the music and the people like move on. And just like when Lady Gaga first came out, it was a phenomenon. The world moves on. Doesn't mean Lady Gaga's no bigger or no smaller or she's not even more successful in with the things that she's doing. I mean, she's making a boatload of money. You know what I'm saying?
I think that at least in part, it's got to be that the market in general is just not that interested in men.
Wow. Oh, yes. You're going that deep.
And then if you look at Harry Styles, it's like, okay, he wears a dress on the cover of magazines. He's like very girly.
Eccentric,
Harry Styles,
controversial.
Benson Boone, he's wearing like the bedazzled, sparkly costumes. He's doing backflips on stage. It's like traditional masculinity has kind of been demonized. And
But wasn't Prince really like fashionable? And it was like really, you know, I mean, he was.
MJ, same thing. I think if you're going to be a pop star that appeals to like legions of women, there's always going to have to be something that isn't just fully like tough guy, bravado, 50 Cent.
Yeah,
type
the
shit.
world, we live in a different world now.
Yeah.
We live in a different world. So, I mean, when you think about that, like, I mean, who else do we have? I mean, currently, right now, that's new, that's relevant. I mean, we have our legends. They sit on Mount Rushmore, you know, but like.
Somebody like Usher is a solo artist, but I mean,
he's still dropping music.
He's been around forever.
I feel like he's a legend. I feel like he's on Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Like,
it's more of a legacy star, you know.
I mean, but you know what? R&B
like
is
Super
popping
Bowl.
right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Mario got a new record out.
Yeah.
Marion got a new record out. Actually, I was listening to it on the way over here. Shout out to Mario's new record. Actually, Kevin McCall actually wrote the record.
Oh,
So it
yeah,
was
he
dope
did
that
mention that. Okay,
so it's
yeah,
dope
yeah.
that I ran into him today. So I thought that was pretty fire.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
That was
So-
not intentional to have a little bit of a theme going today.
Nah, hey, listen, bro. R&B is like definitely popping. So salute to everybody out there pushing. Mrs. Love No got a hot record out. You know what I'm saying? What's the name of the record? Love Won't You Find Me. You know what I mean? I was listening to the record, the acoustic version on the way over here. I was like, okay, all right, let's go music.
Okay, so there's the tangent that we promised.
Hey, there we go. Listen, we can go on for days. And shout out to your wife, yo. If y'all need some tickets, B2K is going on tour next year too. So I'd love to give you and your wife some tickets.
Wow, I would love to go.
Yeah, for
and
real.
also, because I'll be talking to Ray J a little bit.
Yeah, that's the homie.
And I won't divulge any of our conversations or anything.
Never.
But when I'm talking to him about tour, I'm kind of realizing like, oh shit, like you're having a lot of fun on tour.
Yeah, tour is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Tour is a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, and it's about the environment that you create, right? So ours is like, it's a no alcohol tour. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Everybody
Really?
like we come out there to do our work. You know what I'm saying? We 3-4 days on, we go back home. What you want to do in your private life? That's you. Let's come there and make it fun and keep everybody's spirits up. You know what I mean? And
that was another thing I realized talking to Ray J is like, oh, your life is insane right now because you're going out like every weekend
Down,
and
you
then
gotta
come
drink.
home, return to normal life for a couple days, and then you're back out, and then return to normal life, and then you're back out. Like that just must be so hard to get into a groove of like life.
You know what? If you've been doing it your whole life, he's used to it. You know what I mean? Ray, I just talked to him 2 days ago. Like Ray, I was telling him congratulations on some projects that he's working on with Tronics and all the new deals he got in place. And I was like, bro, we've been doing this. And he was telling me, he's like, yeah, we've been doing this since we were kids. You know what I'm saying? This is our life. This is our norm. You know what I mean? But I love the fact that like I'm married. I just had a kid. He's one. Yeah, shout out to my son. So cool. His name is Versailles Carter Thornton.
Okay.
Yep. So that's my little man. And, it's just like that part now that puts even more perspective on life, right? Now you can really start to organize your life. So I'm happy to see Ray J with his kids because now you put everything in perspective.
Yeah.
But it's on.
No, who instituted the idea of no alcohol tour?
I mean, that's one of the things that like, I mean, they're grown, but our promoter, shout out to, BPC and G Squared events, like, they carry a lot of integrity, with their tours. People are grown, they can do what they want to, right? With respects. But, when you come with that mindset as like, we are going as professionals to go work, do the job, you know what I mean? It's not a party.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can make it a party, but it's like, now you hurting your body. How many rock stars that you've talked to or interviewed? How many people that you, and an artist or so on and so forth, are just getting so fucked up all the time that are they really enjoying it? Are they really living in the moment? Like
Yeah.
when my concerts, they're like, it's like modern day church. You know what I mean? It's really emotional. I'm stopping in that moment. You know, I'm watching and, you know, maybe shed a tear at times, you know what I mean? Because this is a gift and it's an honor to be able to be in front of these people and, you know, they're supporting me and made my dream come true. So it's like,
But so wait, okay, so there's no alcohol backstage like normally.
nah,
Every show you play, there's going to be a selection of alcohol. So none of that.
not on the B2K tour.
What if like one of the guys in B2K is like drunk as shit? Is it kind of like, okay, well, he made that personal decision?
I mean, as a grown man, I mean, I would, yeah, right. But with respects to just setting the standard and where we're at, you know, we're all, you know, close to 40, if not 40 years old now. You know what I mean? We understand the assignment. We understand the you know, the strength in the brand, right? And let's go out there and finish what we started.
Because you guys have been through headaches related to, you know, living wild. I would
but
assume.
we never really had those. Like our tours never really like that. I remember when we were like 18 and 19, maybe as we got a little older, we'd probably go to Chili's and maybe we had some drinks there, but it wasn't like,
you guys could just go to Chili's?
I mean, yeah, we had our security. We went to Chili's, but let's say we ordered some drinks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now but it wasn't like, our tours wasn't like super turned up. And I know that discipline is what brought B2K to the success that we had within that short run to where we're able to come back, which we did a tour, what, 7 years ago, 7 years ago, that grossed $28 million that we headlined. So, and we're about to go back out, you know, 7 years later, which is a blessing. So it's like, I mean, hard work really does pay off.
For sure.
What I mean? Everyone looks good. Everyone takes care of themselves. Everybody's eating clean. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's at the gym. So,
okay. Going back to the story, how long did it take between like the group being formed and then the group being huge? Like how long did it take before the records really started to click?
Well, so you got the group moving around that was formed around, you know, in the 90s, late 90s, right? We finally get a deal around 1999, you know, but we was already popping. You know, we were in different music videos. We were on different shows. We were in teen magazines. We had a manager, you know, that had some juice. You know what I mean? We were already making money and generating a buzz. Then you got politics, you know, here it is, B2K pops up in Bow Wow's video. He's one of the hottest rappers out at that time. So within that timeline, you have to say between, you know, 90, you got 98, you got development. You talking about, so you got maybe like 2.5 years of development, got the deal. Now you got another 2 years of working on the album, getting the videos and the packaging and working out and getting all that together. So it's a process.
And during that whole time period, are you just like in love with what you're doing and the grind? Is there any like stress associated with the fact that you're clearly on this path, or is it just every day you're working towards this goal?
That's a really good question, right? For us, we were super passionate and we seen and knew where we were going because we knew we were dope and we knew we were constantly developing our vocals, right? And we knew we had, you know, ties to the industries. Like we're in all these different, I mentioned this earlier, but that first group that we had put together with the 5 of us, we were in every different label. We were in Interscope. We were at, you know, LaFace. We were at Arista and all these different places. So to have that opportunity, but the politics of the failure comes to like, damn, we didn't get the deal. But then we come back around and you got the same 3 out of that group. Now you got Amari, and we come back around and we wind up seeing some of these same labels. So we, you know, I feel like for us, we knew that we had the core and once we, you know, added Amari to the group, that formed B2K. And that was like the nucleus that really, along with the politics and the great management and the great discipline that we had. And then you got Tommy Mottola pulling the trigger, spending millions of dollars.
Yeah,
like
they don't do. It's almost like
we were one of the last.
It's almost like we're having this conversation, and I'm forgetting that this is the thing that the music industry doesn't really do anymore, and it's why
they do sometimes.
They pick and choose like who
when they go push
like,
the button.
If that person is just so obviously going to be huge, then they all get behind him and they make it happen.
Billie Eilish, they spent millions behind her.
Exactly,
when she was going to be phenomenal. I mean, they spent like probably $5-7 million before she even came out.
Yeah,
but you know, she probably cooped that. She made all that back and during tour.
Right, but it's like we kind of constantly having that conversation because like rap is, you know, very low in the top 100 at this point. It's like, I think there's no rap records in the top 100 right now, and it just kind of like stands out a lot that like Oh, I used to kind of have like a flow of rappers to interview all the time that were like being pushed by the labels.
Got you.
And that's not so much the case anymore.
You think? So you think that's? I don't want to say it's an agenda. Do you believe, or would you suggest or recommend that the labels are moving away from rap?
Oh yeah, for sure they are.
You know, with respects to that, it's time to clean things up. I know we have, you know, as a culture, have things they want to express, but we've seen so many examples. I would have to say Jay-Z is a prime example of someone who cleaned it up.
Yeah,
that's your perfect example. You know what I mean?
I mean, cleaned it up and
clean it. What I mean, like for example, like if I'm glorifying killing, if I'm glorifying disrespecting women, if I'm you know, if I'm glorifying all that different stuff is like a low vibration frequency that we as people don't need to be there. Like we, you know what I mean? So, and we have all this knowledge now, especially on what to eat, right? You know what I mean? So it's like, if you clean it up, I mean, the world would be a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, I remember Jay-Z said right before 50 Cent came out, he was telling his label, like, somebody's going to come through and DMX the game. Which is kind of crazy because
before 50 came out,
like, but if you think
50 do it,
like 50 was like 2021, 2022, and like DMX was like 1998. So this is actually like pretty close together. But like, you know, he basically like was saying like the game is polished, the game is poppy, the game is Diddy, the game is everything right now is very polished and shiny and it's appealing to the mass market.
I think I know what you're talking
about.
And
then 50 comes out and he's super gangster and he's got these real stories about getting shot that like other rappers did not have at that time. And that was what the game needed at that time. Everything was too clean. Let's interject a crazy element of gangster shit. The question is right now, what is that thing? What is because Lord knows we've seen enough gangster shit.
Right. Oh, what is that next thing that's gonna like
make people love hip hop again? Because it kind of felt like we had like SoundCloud rap type that sort of energy, the Playboy Cardis and the X's and Juice WRLDs, all these guys.
All dope.
And then by the time you get to like the 2020s, it felt like as far as rap, I'm mostly specialized in rap, so I'm kind of referring to rap, but like by the 2020s, it starts going all street. Everybody's shooting some shit up in their lyrics or whatever. And then it kind of feels like right now the audience has kind of got sick of that. And they're kind of like, okay, we've heard enough murder anthems. Yeah. But that's the question is like, what's next?
I mean, there's a lot of people that's answering for that right now. And they have been for years. Tragedy what happened to Biggie and Tupac. Yeah. But look how they learned from that and brought 50 in, and marketed like that. It's fucking,
really
fucking a phenomenon.
Like 5 years later,
fucking phenomenal.
Because there was that vibe in the industry of like, oh, let's not push rap. That's gangster. That's this. Because people used to be on their album covers with guns, and then that went away
too.
Yeah,
that's true.
But I'm talking about like before.
Oh yeah.
But then with Tupac and Biggie, it was kind of like, okay, we can't on the corporate side, we can't be promoting all this gangster shit.
That shit was
in the same way.
That shit was crazy, bro. That shit was crazy.
Changed everything.
Man, you're smart, man. I see you're embedded in the culture. I'm over here, I'm over here in my mind, like, oh yeah, bro, this is some deep shit you talking about. Right? No, these are some serious facts, bro. Like, for real,
talking shit. Hey, so let me ask you this: did it feel like B2K was in some way a reaction to NSYNC and Backstreet Boys? Like, oh, we're gonna do the swagged out black version of what these other dudes have had success doing?
Not at all.
Okay,
not at all. It was timing, right? They signed, that same room that Tommy Mottola signed us in, and rest in peace to Polly Anthony, and shout out to Dave McPherson and Katrina Askew, and all the people, Chris, and all the people that made that project, Max Goose, Martin Piran, Teese Williams, all these people that made that B2K project pop. It was positioned at the right time. And I would say that meaning because the label had already had 3OW, right? They already had a girls group. They had Destiny Child as well, right? So I felt like we just slid right up in there. But maybe I could be wrong from someone else's opinion. I mean, NSYNC was out, Backstreet was out, and I think Tommy Mottola knew what he was doing. So that would have to be. I mean, who else was out at that time in 2001 that had that push? I mean, right before us, it was Drew Hill that had like a really big push, right?
I mean, if you're a smart music exec,
last 1999.
If you're a smart music exec, you're looking at and singing Backstreet Boys and thinking like, okay, if there's a million white girls going nuts for these dudes, then we probably could figure out a more urban black version of that.
I mean, they probably so.
Yeah.
Probably so. I mean, because bro, we were number one on TRL. We didn't sell as much as they sold.
Yeah.
Right. But I believe the group broke up a little early, but based off of being able to compete at the level, like NSYNC, they worked to get up to the level they was at. I feel like the label put us out at, yeah. So that would have to be a response because the type of money they spend. I mean, we got $700,000-$800,000 just at radio.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's for a new group.
Okay. Before we get into the breakup, though, what was the music creation process like? Are they just handing you songs? Are you guys working together, writing stuff? What was it?
That very first album, that was a collaboration more so with us. We had in-house producers with the production that we were signed to platinum status, and they created music based off of our energy and our vibe, and based off what was from my personal experience, what was hot around that time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So, that very first album, we had a little input, maybe wrote on 1 or 2 records, but we're new artists in the industry. That second album, we grew, and I felt like we had more hands on like A&R songs and picking different records, because some records are custom made. They're written right there on the spot. Some are already made, and they're sent to us, and we reference them and see what they sound like. So that process could be different for different artists. There's a lot of new artists that come out that write their ass off, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm pretty sure that process is a little bit different as well.
But if you had a song, or like, did that ever happen where like you or someone else in the group like had a song, or like, yo, I want to work on this, or would that energy not have been necessarily?
That energy got supported.
Okay.
We were so early in the game, you know, that if you're gonna, I believe that we would hear each other out, but it needs to be equivalent to when you got Tricky Stewart, who produced Baby and produced all these crazy records for Usher and so on and so forth. Like, we got superstar master producers, so you're competing at a high level. So there's raps that I know, like that Little Fizz and J Boog wrote on that was our first single. It was a gold single. It was number 1 for like 12 weeks on the Hot 100 singles charts, which is awesome. Won a Billboard award for that, which is pretty dope. And like, they actually wrote the rap together.
Right.
2 months of conversation, man. That's amazing. I mean, I wasn't mad. I was sitting in the back like, shit, can I get a word in? You know what I mean? But they got some publishing on that. So, and nobody knocked that. And I thought, for it being your first album, that was a collaborative effort, because the second album we wound up working on 10 songs.
Were you the kind of dude though at that time who was just happy like, clearly this is a well-oiled, fine-tuned machine? Were you just happy to just do your job and be part of it? Or was there part of you that was like, I want to have more of a say creatively, or I want to do things my own way? Because when you're in that label sort of box, there's things that are expected of you, and creativity is not necessarily a huge part of it.
Not within the B2K world. Okay. Because, me having family, I was very... I love to go big, superstar, like, with the clothes, and as well as our management, they want to do the same thing. So I feel like we shared that creative juice. So we were excited about the things that we wanted to do. It's like our first album, we didn't have a commercial, but our second album, we had a commercial. It's us running from the girls, and we jump over the gates and we hop on a car, and then they pan back, and then it's the girls in the store with the CD in her hand. So that first album sold 110,000 copies. Then the second album sold 210,000 copies. So our label was allowing for us to be creative, because we had showed them that we can do shit, which would inspire them to want to spend money. Right. So B2K had a very unique situation. That was like, we just did the BET Awards, and, shout out to Shaka Zulu. He's like, man, congratulations on being celebrated. And I was like, I didn't think of it that way. Not just was it a well-oiled machine, but when you're put in a situation of this magnitude, it's pretty well oiled. So you got to be, not only do you be grateful, but you got to also remember your hard work and all those nights that you cried and times that y'all got let down. You guys are actually really here. So don't take this for granted. Stay on that. Stay on their neck. You know what I mean? And that was energy. Every time we got on stage, we're like, we're going to kill it. How can we take this next video to the next level? Okay, cool. Let's put Will Smith in the video. Let's put Ronald Isley in the video. Let's put Big Boy in the video. Let's put Flex Alexander in the video. Fuck it. Let's get Vivica A. Fox. Let's get, Jennifer Freeman. Let's make it a movie. You know what I mean? So I just feel like we understood the assignment.
Definitely. So, do you have a memory of? I always remember Kanye describing, like, right before his first album blew up, that he was at Tower Records in Midtown Manhattan or downtown, kind of by like 14th Street, and he was just like in the elevator with a bunch of people, and he had a thought in his head at that moment that was like, "This is the end of this. Like, I'm never going to be in an elevator full of people that don't know me again." And then, sure enough, that actually happened. Like, he just.
That's some crazy shit.
He was world famous within a few months. And
what did he want from that? I'm gonna have to look. That's on YouTube.
I think I remember him telling the story. I think in like a written article a long ass time ago.
Okay.
I say that just say, was there a sort of like night and day moment for you guys?
It would probably be all those times we got rejected and you're so close. Oh, the label wants to keep you, but we don't got this guy, or we don't got this, or now we need this, and we need to try this new member. And it was just a lot of different things that were going on. And it's kind of like how MJ went through some shit and was like, you know what? Like, I'm never going to let this happen to me again. That's a good one. I'm sure there was a moment. I would have to think really for a minute to actually really find out what that moment was. But I'm sure it was a moment where we was like, fuck this shit. Like we're going to be the biggest fucking group ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to make a name for ourselves. And I believe we had that energy and air behind us because we knew when we started performing, it's a wrap. Like young B2K, like that energy. I mean, I knew people could dance, but like B2K had a different little edge. But we had a different little edge with us. Right?
Was it ever like you're on a tour and you're kind of able to move around like a normal person, and then like the next tour you're having to move around like the president, like all of a sudden like you're getting swarmed by fans and everything like that?
I've seen that before. There's a fine theory that I have behind that. I think we created an experiment when I was in China because I lived there like for 7 years. And my guy was like, I want to try, like, if I create this and put a cameraman there and have somebody yelling, can we create that same impact? It's pretty interesting how that happens. You know what I mean? Because I've experienced that on numerous occasions, but it's some energy about that.
Wait, you're saying that they did a test, like if we film you and act like you're super famous, how much more will it convince everybody? Yeah.
Exactly. So it's just like programming. So that my whole theory behind that, it gets a little deep for me but I've definitely experienced that. The secret is when the wave is going, when it's wavy, just stay cool and stay calm. And you can, and talk to everybody real calm. Yeah. And you can walk right out. But if you freak out or panic, they'll freak out and panic and they'll start to grab you and doing stuff because they're not even in control at that moment.
Yeah. There's something like, I've been in situations before where like a guy walks into the room and he's got two big ass security guards. He's got a filmer. He's got a chain on. Right. And the whole room stops to pay attention to this dude. And it's like, I know who he is. And I know he ain't that big a deal at all. But he's moving around like a big deal. And like the people who don't know him they're convinced this guy's fucking famous as shit. And they're like all taking pictures, everything. So it's like, you can kind of do that on a day-to-day basis if you want to move around and give off that much energy. And then on the other hand,
that's a lot of energy.
You could be a famous ass person and have your hoodie up, sunglasses on, low key. And people come over to you like, hey, are you so-and-so?
Right.
And like be polite about it because they recognize that you're not really trying to be like that at this moment. It's kind of weird.
I'm sure you experienced it as well. It's just a trip when you see somebody that you recognize. Like I literally was just talking to Amari today, and I was telling him I was supporting his record, and I run into Kevin today. It's kind of like one of those surreal moments, like, you know what I mean? So
definitely.
His energy was great. It was, talented dude. So keep writing, bro. Keep living. Keep writing.
For sure. Where did the name Razb come from? You had that in advance? Or?
Hell no, bro. Rest in peace, Dave Scott. Phenomenal choreographer. Worked on Step Up and You Got Served, and he did all of B2K's choreography up until the last tour and the recent BET performance that we had. So rest in peace to Dave Scott. He's the one that actually gave me my name, and because like normally when I wake up, I think I sound like a frog, but they say my voice is pretty raspy. So he's like, let's call you Razb, and I was like. And it kind of just stuck with me.
I thought it had to be like raspberry related.
Nah, I clean more to Raz, which I was doing some research in Kabbalah and reading, the Holy Bible, and it was like there was a scripture like Deuteronomy 29:29, and it just kind of stuck with me. And it's like the secret things belong to the Lord our God, but those things which are revealed belongs to us and our children, that we may do all the work and will of his law. And Razb means revealer of secrets. And a Jewish friend of mine who studied Kabbalah actually told me that. And I was just doing some research and I was like, So Razb kind of like stuck with me, you know. And Mario, which my name is DeMario, but my mom and all my friends call me Mario, which means mighty warrior. Right. So you just look at these little meanings and you hold on to those things, you know what I mean? You know, keep you believing in yourself and staying true to yourself. You know,
For sure.
Because life is a journey, right?
Definitely.
Jeez.
So at what point, do you remember what year you guys broke up? And
yeah, we broke up. Things starting to get shaky. I probably got started to get shaky around like late 2003.
Okay.
And you know, right before the movie came out, You Got Served.
Yeah.
It came out like January.
Yeah.
And the group was really, you know, at that time, really doing their own thing because we had to record we were supposed to record. Well, it got recorded somehow. A soundtrack album.
The whole album.
A soundtrack, maybe like 5 or 6 songs.
Okay.
You know, typically we'll be in the studio, whether Amari's doing the leads or not, but we'll all be in the studio collaborating. But that, you know, that was kind of weird. We started seeing some things kind of like, you know, we started to get a little older and we started to inquire about, you know, different business things. And, you know, I think now that we're older and mature, we probably should have went about them in a different manner.
So what would you say was the biggest factor? Was it like label / industry / money shit, or was it like personal shit between you guys?
I think it was everything.
Really, yeah.
I think the fame. I think not just the fame, but I just think everything that come along with the world, right? Because this is essentially B2K is a commodity, right? And this is what the world is exchanging, right? This is the world is based off of exchange, right?
Yeah.
So you know now, you know things are coming in, and you know people are not feeling that energy is being justified, and this and that, and things are not fair. Then you got these people pulling over this guy and this pulling over here. So it's just like, it just gets complicated and messy.
Yeah, especially if you're spending years of your life on the road, literally giving up your privacy, giving up like everything in order to make this thing work.
Right.
And then at some point you kind of realize that you're not really making money like the way that you assumed you were going to. That's got to be a tough,
after a while,
tough moment.
Yeah. So those are the moments. And then, I believe brotherhood stuff, that stuff could get worked out. That's the easy stuff, not us, but it's the politics that kind of makes our stuff sticky, where our stuff could have been worked out. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm so excited about this moment that we have now for completion. And like now we're talking about, we've announced a tour, but we're getting ready to launch, the dates and stuff, and going to start the campaign for the tour that starts in fall. Is it fall or spring? February. It's about completion, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm excited because we're something that like we get a chance to finish.
Right.
So I'm excited, bro. I'm looking forward to it.
No, definitely. I want to ask more about that and everything. But so would you say that the group was stagnating at all in terms of commercial success, or were you guys kind of at the high point?
Nah. The group was definitely not stagnated at all. We were getting ready. That next album probably would have been at least 3 to 4 or 5 million copies. I mean, we had just shipped 700,000 copies over to the UK.
Right.
We're starting to, we went from doing a bunch of TV and interviews to now we're, doing performances at clubs and arenas, and like it's starting to bubble.
Okay.
I feel like B2K would have that next album. Right. We had our first #1 Hot 100 record with Bump Bump Bump. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
And that's all. Both these albums came out in the same year.
Right. Oh, that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we dropped the first album in March 2001. Then you come back, you drop another one December 10th.
Yeah. Legendary.
Shit, these guys were just fucking maximizing on their money.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But so did you? So you guys filmed, or you did everything for You Got Served, but then by the time the movie comes out, you're already actually broken up, or how did this go?
There's some intricate parts, but like around 2003, we had just came back from doing our promo run for Bump 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 in the UK, right? For the new album, for the second album. Yeah. And at the time before we left, I think we just finished the contracts. When we got back, we shot the movie. That could have been like late 2003. That was a big year for us, right? Yeah. And then the movie. So between those last 5 months, things started to crumble apart. You know what I mean? And I remember us showing up at the premiere. We didn't show up together. Mari and his security and all these people, they walked in, and we, the three of us, came, and you know what I mean? The way they was promoting the movie, it was them over there promoting the movie, and it was us over here promoting the movie. It was just, things were different.
Did people seem like they understood, or because nowadays the fans are picking through your social media with a fine tooth comb? They're noticing before you want them to know.
they just wanted to see us together. I believe they, you know, as time, you know, unveiled it, you know, was revealed, like people were able to, you know, put their story together, what they think. But it's a lot of moving parts when you got a group that's generating millions of dollars, a lot of success. You know, some people think it's always, oh, well, this guy's jealous of this guy. This, you know, it's so many moving parts. You know what I mean? That's why I feel like B2K could we could really do a freaking biopic. Like, I feel like, and it would have to be 4 separate parts because everybody's life, you know what I mean? I'm curious to know, you know, what, you know, like Amari's side or the other boys. And, you know, some of my stuff is played out, you know, publicly or whatnot. But, you know, I feel like you bring all that shit together is what makes people still want to see
I watched,
the group.
I watched a whole Netflix series about Wham.
What the fuck is that?
I don't even know. Yeah, it's George Michael had a group called Wham.
Okay, George.
And they actually had an unbelievable number of huge hits.
Wow.
Which
Okay,
people forget about it because it was like corny ass 80s music. But, you know, they had crazy, huge records.
Big following.
I'm just saying that, like, I think B2K probably could get more views than Wham. So I feel like for sure that's probably something like that coming.
Yeah, no, that bro, listen, you know, it's been a conversation, but respectfully, each gentleman in the group would have to, obviously, what I was saying, produce hey guys, we're saying it out now. Obviously, you have to produce your story. You'll be solely responsible for it. And then we would have to collectively agree, which we will, and all have to sign off on each other's. So we all are, you know, representing, you know, and putting out the right narrative, and everyone's being seen in the proper light that they want to be seen in, which I'm sure we work together. I'm sure we could figure something like that out. Right. I think that would be dope.
Right. Were you surprised by how big you guys served?
Oh, hell yeah.
Became?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's like literally like a cult classic.
Yeah.
So, you know, shout out to my family. You know, he's out there doing some amazing films and stuff like that. And, you know, having that opportunity to be a part of You Got Served, like that was huge. The movie was called Dance, and the movie was originally written for Genuine, which was Elgin, Leah, which was Aaliyah, Wade Robertson, Dave, which was Dave Scott, rest in peace, Dave Scott. And you know, it was a dance movie about battling, right? And it was so dope because the timing of it was so. Remember I said how the group was played strategically. The timing and the alignment was just so perfect. That was almost fucking what, 86. I would have to do the math on that, from 86 to 2004. Like that was like the new era of breaking. If you think about it, you know what I mean? And the world goes like this.
I don't feel like breakdancing has really had a pop culture moment like that.
You don't think break? Oh, because you said pop culture? No,
yeah, like nobody, like something that makes everybody stop and pay attention to this like small subculture.
You don't think breaking did that back in the day?
No, I'm saying since You Got Served. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, because You Got Served, bro. When I seen You Got Served on South Park, I was like, oh, this shit's out of here. Like I sat back and I was like, yo, this is. You know, then they made dance flicks. They're making spoof films of it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that was.
Was there anybody involved who was like, you know what, this movie's fucking huge. Let's keep this B2K thing going. We still have.
There was a lot of people that tried to step in to make that happen. I think the damage was done at the time. I remember sitting down with Steve Harvey. I remember, you know, there's been conversations where, you know, Amari probably had an opportunity too, where he could have said, you know what, I'm going to do the solo album, then I'm going to go back and do B2K. I feel like there's a bunch of different parts, but there was so much damage. And I feel like there was a lot of growth that needs to transpire from everybody. And I like where we're at today. Do I think we left a lot of money on the table? Hell yeah. Jesus. And not just about the money. I look at people, and shout out to Chris Brown and the stadium tour. I look at, you know, people and their supporters have been able to grow with them, right? So imagine all those years you just keep working. You get to grow with them.
You got 12 albums.
Oh, come on, bro. You telling me you're not in the stadium?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not just about the money, but we do get in the business for the love, but gotta have the money.
Would you say it was an ego thing that stopped you guys from being able to do it? Or was it because ultimately Omarion just wanted to do his solo thing?
No, I don't think it was none of that. I would like to believe that it was a lot of moving parts that didn't necessarily involve us. Like I said earlier, brotherhood stuff could be worked out. Right. If my boy want to do a solo album, like, cool, we can go in there and support you on your solo project. You know, same thing. Fizz had a record deal. Mario had a record deal. You know, I feel like there was a way that things probably needed to be handled. You know what I mean? With all of the politics, personal relationships, transitionings, big movie coming out. These are so many different moving parts. You know what I mean? So it's like, and you got different people, different managers, different agents, different executives. You got different people in your ear that weren't in your circle. You're super famous. You got some bread. I would have to say it was, inevitable.
I mean, we always talk about how groups don't really work in hip hop. Like, would you say that's true in large part for R&B as well? Like,
would you say people would try to break groups up or try to, kind of like self-destruct them? Like let's say, okay, most people say, okay, well, groups are going to only have 2 albums per se.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do people start looking at the solo artists? Like, I knew Amari was going to go solo before the group even started.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know what I mean? So for us, we all knew that. Like, he was already a solo artist. He already had a Pops commercial. He was already, a backup dancer and doing, commercials. And like, he was moving, he was working. Right. You know what I mean? So I knew he was going solo. I know he was really sad about it because I didn't think he was ready to go solo because there's a way maybe he wanted to do it. It would have been nice. I mean, he had a very successful run, very successful run. And that's really good for him, but imagine if, we were all dropping solo records, like, I think there's an idea where the Pandemonium album, we dropped 5 different covers. Everyone had their first cover. I believe there's an idea floating around about all of us having our own solo albums. I thought that would have been dope. If each B2K member had their own solo album, dropped them at the same time with a B2K album. Never seen it done.
Yeah.
So that's the type of creative shit we had around us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, if they can get the Fizz done, the Fizz solo album done, and if they was able to get the Marion album done, I mean, I was happy for everybody.
Is there an extent to which, too, it's also like, well, shit, we've been chopping this money up 3 ways or more once you count the managers and labels, whatever. But like, if I work on my solo career, I don't even need to be anywhere near as big as the group because I'll be getting 100% of the money. Or, whatever, I split with the label and manager, whatever. But was that part of it too? Because it's like, a lot of times you think of that, like, imagine being in Wu-Tang and you're going on tour and you got to split the money 10 ways. You know what? You would have to. I was never, big on going solo, right? So I wasn't really thinking about that. And I'm a share. I believe in sharing, right? And I want everybody to win. I really don't win unless we all win, right? Like, and. Maybe I won't say that, but like, if that stuff's not been planted in your brain, how are you already thinking about that? You know what I mean? As a human, it could pass your mind. Do I think that was driven in our group? I don't believe that because we knew we were growing as a family. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's build an empire, and eventually, people will go off and do other things that they would like to do. But it's like keep the mothership, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Together.
Yeah. I mean, I see that even with the podcast. The thing is that anybody who's experiencing any level of success is going to have people around them who are trying to convince that person that they should not be part of a larger entity. I mean, because like the idea of being independent and going solo is so attractive to people. And I 100% understand that. But also it's like people who don't really have shit going on, I think a lot of times look at a person who's doing well in the music industry and it's kind of like, well, whether they could verbalize this with words or not, they're kind of like, well, if I contribute to blowing up this thing, then I'm going to prosper in some way because I'm going to be able to be more involved in your career. Whereas if you're part of this group, then your career is kind of in the hands of the group and the leadership there.
I mean, there's a lot of things. I mean, you have to think about what's best for you at that time. Right. I mean, I'm sure a lot that, and not just in B2K's world, but I'm sure in a lot of situations. I was just thinking while you were talking about this the whole time, I just kept thinking about Bohemian Rhapsody, the whole movie, right? Yeah. And I'm sitting there watching Freddie Mercury. He took the solo deal for $4 million. I think about, Justin Timberlake's moment. I wasn't in the group. I don't know exactly, but let's say if Justin's as an artist, he's growing and evolving and he's doing more music and maybe the other guys they're not as interested at that time because everyone's like kind of going off to college. Everyone's kind of went on and, and they're trying their new things. But what if this guy is still in the studio? What if this guy is still dancing? Yeah. You know what I mean? I believe that a lot of times people get victimized and that may not be necessarily the case, right? Because if I'm Justin and like, I'm like, yo, Adam, I need you to, pull up to the studio. We cutting this record, or the stuff that we were doing. I'm not feeling that. Like I'm on some, like I'm really tapped in. You know, because maybe this was just it's different. That's like with Michael. Like, you know, do you think Michael was like wanted to go solo because he was like because it was the money was there, or was he really, you know, did he really not want to be in the group? Did he really not, you know, the things pushed him away? Was it really his dad? Was the music that he was doing felt more him? Like, you know what I mean? Maybe this is stuff that they didn't want to try. Like,
it's interesting because in retrospect, with somebody like Michael Jackson or Beyonce, it's kind of like we've seen them go on to experience such insane levels of success that it's kind of like, of course you had to leave your group in order to experience that level of success. But what we don't really think about is like, well, what if that success had been like contained within the group?
That is fire.
You know?
Do you think, oh, that's a fucking good one.
Like what if Beyonce's biggest records were her in Destiny's Child doing it? Yeah, Destiny's Child would probably be the biggest female R&B group of all time.
So that ties back into what you said earlier. You think it's outside? Do you believe it's outside influence that causes that to want to separate them because they want to pull you into another circle? Because imagine if she just never did solo and that she never did any solo album and she just stayed in the group.
I
don't think she would have not been not just successful, but people, because she's the lead singer, or you get that emphasis that's already put on that stage, people are already gravitating to you and putting you out. That's like if you came and I'm like, well, I'm not taking this opportunity if you. They want me to cover Vogue by myself, but I'm not going to do it without you. Still force your group. She could have forced her. Her group is still there, but she could have forced her group the entire time if she wanted to.
Yeah. But ultimately,
I don't know that question. That's really deep. I mean, but isn't that for one human being? Like we do want to get into our own self. Like you build your you look. I mean, like, okay, you worked with this company. You did this in the past. This is your shit.
Yeah.
Don't you want to get in your own bag, basically?
And imagine if when I had started this, it had been me and two other dudes doing all the interviews. But then as time goes by, it kind of starts to feel like, oh, like I'm the guy that's like really getting the good interviews, and maybe these other two dudes were just dudes that made sense for me to be doing interviews.
Maybe the world does that shit, bro.
I mean, that's always what happens. Yeah,
that's just pure outside influence.
Yeah, but even like, all right, let's say
like Boyz II Men is still okay. Wanye did some stuff solo, but Boyz II Men is still fucking popping. They fucking eating. They ready to go on tour right now.
Yeah.
They're still eating.
I mean, honestly, maybe part of the problem, maybe part of the thing is I remember when Boyz II Men were fucking huge. And I'm
the biggest selling boys group of all time.
But I don't think I could have told you the name of one of the members as just a fan.
Oh,
which is kind of different than like Destiny's Child, where it's like she was just like, I didn't know the other two, but I knew Beyonce.
That's just deep.
Yeah.
Yo, this the politics of groups. Yo, this is a whole like documentary. We could really get some boy groups and sit some people down and interview their ass. Okay, this is deep.
The
guys and girls.
Exception to the rule, rap wise.
That would be crazy.
Rest in peace to Takeoff, but
yeah,
before Takeoff passed, the Migos seemed like the group that was going to stay together forever. Because but they were all so similar, so on the same page. They're like related. That's like they had a lot of the things in place that would keep them bonded together.
All right.
Now, granted, even that
they just grew up.
Well, Takeoff passed, and then also
it seemed like they was already wrapping it up before they did that last record.
Yeah, and
that last record felt like the goodbye record, right? Yeah,
alleged girl drama. They all did their solo projects right before Takeoff passed, kind of a couple years before that. Yeah,
they were together like what, 15 years?
Probably something like that. Yeah, I remember. 2011 they came out.
I mean, you know, people, all these different groups, man, they just go through this shit. I mean, it's an ongoing, and I believe people like groups. That's why we're seeing the success of these K-pop groups right now.
Yeah. Well, okay, but there you go. That's who you want.
Shit is crazy.
You want to make a group? You go to a country that does not really.
They got like 6-7 cats in that.
They don't really care about like individuality in the way that Americans do. In America, everybody's all about free expression and creativity. You go to Asia, it's like, oh, there's a lot of concern for being a good member of society, a good part of the team, part of the group.
Right.
It's less individualistic. You go to China, you just don't see people wearing weird clothes. Just for an example, you know. But you go to a party in, you know, LA, everybody got a weird outfit. Everybody's trying to stand out. People don't really want to stand out as much there, so I feel like the group thing makes a lot more sense to them.
It's real organized, and from the perspective of what we've seen the past 30, 35, 40, 50 years, like with groups and wearing all the same clothes and shit, man, this world just changed.
Yeah,
America's different, man.
That's facts. So, okay, the group is there a moment where you really break up, or is it kind of slowly you separate and just go your separate
like
ways?
were there some moments?
Was there a blowout fight that just ended it?
There was definitely some moments like no fist was thrown, but there was some arguments at maybe a show. There was but I feel like our arguments once again trickle down from the politics of the business.
Mm.
You get it? Because no one had a problem with some. I knew when this guy was doing something solo or this guy was doing solo. I don't believe we had that many problems that we couldn't work out. I feel like it was the politics of the business and the agendas of how the world is pulling. You know what I mean? There's just ways to go about things.
Do you remember the last time that you guys were all together before you spent a long period of time apart? Obviously, you're around each other now, but I remember those times. It was sad, especially as brotherhoods. It felt like our brother was being taken away or you know what I mean, or we were going away. It was just very, 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 very sad time. But I do remember some of those times. So what becomes of your life at that point? Like what's your day-to-day become?
During when you are coming off of this huge success, you have to say to yourself, how do I continue to work? In this business, you got to handle your politics properly, right? I can't be, you got to move in silence. Things you probably, you will be rewarded openly. So I say that to say that, like, when you have a bad breakup like that and it's involving politics and business companies and record companies, that can make it a little difficult to try to move in the same business that you were strategically put in. Yeah. Right. So, I think that, all of that is lessons learned. Right. And growth, and with growth and maturity, you know what I mean? You'll get to understand that the group B2K, like I said earlier, our previous tour was very successful, and we're hoping for the same success, if not more, for this tour, and to be able to go back on tour 20 something years later, off of a 3-4 year run, that was the impact that group had made at that time. So, and once again, that's a testament to our bond, our brotherhood. I believe we're going to call it Tour Boys for Life. That could be a working title, but as
Tour Boys?
No, Boys for Life.
Oh, okay.
It's off a title. Yeah, it's off a title track from our sophomore album.
Yeah, that's hard. But so
Pandemonium,
did you start working on your solo career right away? And like, how did that kind of go?
That was crazy. I was talking to a friend the other day. I realized Tony Draper, shout out Tony Draper, he had put $750,000 on the table for a project. I flew up to meet with Dave McPherson, who had actually was very instrumental in signing the Backstreet Boys. He was the president of our company. And I went and met with him. He's like, I didn't know you wanted to do an album. And I was like, I don't think I knew either. You know what I mean? Maybe I want to do one because, things is popping right now.
Well, if someone else in the group is going to do their own album, I want to do my own album.
I mean, two people are doing albums now. Like, so fucking,
Am I going to be the guy who doesn't do an album?
Yeah, so I don't really know if I really, and then, I was in heavy talks with Cash Money, Slim and Baby. That was that deal almost got done. And there was a few other opportunities out there. I don't know if I really want to pursue a solo career. I'm more an entrepreneur, behind the scenes guy. Like, I'm the guy that likes to find the money. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, for example, like this relationship, first point of contact, I had introduced this relationship with this touring company to, my circle and my culture, you know what I mean? And shout out to the Millennium Tours. I feel like, I was very instrumental in, introducing and finding the money.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So I like the business, you know what I'm saying? Because like you can tuck me off. Like, I like real estate. Like, you know what I mean? I like brokering deals. You know what I mean? Like, I like consulting. You know what I mean? Pay me my consulting check. You know what I'm saying?
But you had that mentality even then?
Oh yeah. Like, I've always been able to sustain myself, right? And if I got to get in front of the camera, like, I'll get in front of the camera. But like, I was in China for 7 years. I knew how to survive. I was selling songs, and I know this producer. Okay, cool. Yeah, I can get this song for you for like, you really want 40, but I can get it for this price.
Okay, so the group breaks up, and then how long until you go to China?
Oh shit! I went to China when I was probably like around 25.
Okay.
Wait, was that 25? I don't know. Wait, how long? No, not 25. I came back when I was 32. Maybe was it 32 or 33? Maybe it's around. Maybe I was 25, 26. The group broke up around I was like 18 or 19.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So you got 19, you got 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. You got like 5 or 6 years. So probably 5 or 6 years if I went to China.
What were you doing during those 5 or 6 years?
That's a good question. What was I doing during those 5 or 6 years? Probably a little acting here and there. I was still getting appearances. There was still a buzz.
Okay.
There were some royalty checks that was coming in, which was pretty cool. And I feel like I was more so getting a grasp of trying to get a grasp of everything that was transitioning in my life and how I want to move and where I want to go. You know what I mean? Because you still got to say, okay, yeah, I can be, you know, I have some success. I can be invited here, do this, do this. But what is the next piece of product that I'm going to put out in the marketplace? What is that I want to do? And I believe a lot of the things that I want to do are more humanitarian related. Like we put in place, which is called the B2K Cares Foundation. So I've always been wanting to do things like that. I did see myself at a lot of different churches and revivals, and I see myself at speaking engagements. And I feel like that's like a person's pinnacle, like almost like the pinnacle of your career. You know what I mean? It's like to speak and share your knowledge, right? So I was trying to get a grasp on, because there was so much shit coming at me. What exactly that I wanted, what exactly it is that I wanted to do, and but I managed to survive. I managed to like be a hustler. I managed to make money. You know what I mean? And I believe that comes from my entrepreneur spirit from my mom, bro. I was pumping gas, shining shoes, selling oil, selling incense, like, you know what I mean? Like whatever it is, buying and selling that. That was really cool in China, because I would source products. Obviously China's opening up right now. And showing you the market.
Wait, but so how'd you first get introduced to going to China? The reason why I'm so curious is
there's some real shit.
I've had I've like seen a few people in my life who kind of like restarted at some point and like went to China.
Right.
And just kind of had like, that
was like a rebirth for me in a way.
Yeah.
That was like a real, like I went there, what year? I would have to go back and do some math. But when I went, no, the first opportunity, well, I always liked China. I always like, you look at some shit made in China. Like, so you're like, okay, so that energy is already there. So now you're manifesting. Then somebody like, presents an opportunity to you, say, hey, yo, there's a concert. The first concert is going on at the Great Wall of China with this company called BTB Communications. Oh, wow. They brought in Hal Uplinger, who produced Live Aid, and it was called the Wall of Hope concert. So those out there that want to look it up, it was called the Wall of Hope concert. And I was working really close with them. At the time, they didn't have talent attached to the project. They proposed to B2K. I believe we were playing at this NBA Entertainment League. Did you ever play on that? No. It was in Santa Monica. Everybody, Justin Timberlake, everybody used to play.
Oh, it was like a celebrity game type thing?
Yeah, but we had our refs, and it was called the NBA, right? So it was pretty cool. But that's where I met that guy. I can't remember his name. Forgive me, bro. But they just wanted to sign a letter of intent. Typically when you have a letter of intent, that can help move things forward. B2K, I felt like was a group that could headline something like that. You know what I mean? Not me by myself. I'm not trying to put myself down, but I wound up, even though the group didn't want to do it, I wound up going to the office with them, helping them, find other talent, working really close with them because I wanted to be a part of this opportunity. I wound up not going, could have still went, wound up not going because the promoter ran out of money. My lawyer and the agent worked out where I could still go host the show. I don't think they just let me perform, but I could host the show, which was pretty cool. I should have went, but they wasn't going to be able to pay me. And I'm like, damn, because the guy was telling me, he's like, bro, make sure you lock in your payment, get everything done. And it just felt like the show was falling apart. Another promoter stepped in to buy it, and if I had this really good lawyer named Lee Young who let him understand the value that I brought to the project during the time. So, the best thing to do was to honor it. That didn't happen. I said, fuck it. 7 years later, bro, somebody hit me up about going to China. And my uncle was like, bro, if it being God's will, you go back to China, right? Dude hits me up. It wasn't the best deal, but I took it. And I started performing out there. It wasn't the best deal. Wasn't the best living conditions. I remember I lost my voice for like a week and a half. It was fucking mildew, and I was staying in the house, this flat, and it was a DJ. The people that worked at the club was like a residency gig. It was a DJ, 2 DJs, and myself that worked there. And it was crazy because these other dancers, they had their own apartment. Their flats was like plush. So when I got there, not that I was looking for some superstar treatment, because I didn't think anybody knew me over there, right? You know what I mean? But I was able to grind, show my talent, and create so many fucking opportunities for myself. I mean, bro, I was making really good money in China, bro. Really? And then man. Yeah, just from performing. Then I get down to Guangzhou, and I'm start going up now in Yiwu, and I'm starting to hey, could you source this product for me? Oh, for sure. I got a friend that put my money on top. You know what I'm saying? Get that shit to mail it out. I mean, I was doing that for years. Like, some days I think about going back to that business and really, like, I was just doing it on the wing, like really organizing it and making it what it could be. But it's like now the market is open. I'm happy that people are going out to China and, and opening up and, making their money, because entrepreneurship is everything. I mean, there's no reason anybody should have a bag.
No, yeah. I
There's
mean,
no reason.
if you understand American culture and
reason.
Chinese manufacturing and their market and everything,
Yes,
there's like crazy infinite opportunities available for you.
I mean, shit. You say, yo, you like, yo, Raz, I need this. I'm like, let me source this product for you. You like this one? I'm gonna send you 4 different samples.
Yeah.
All right, this is my price, and I'm transparent. I'm like, this is what I'm doing. This is my fee.
Yeah. Because I'm from like the bike
Shit adds
industry,
up, bro.
and in the bike world,
Yeah.
I've known some of the bike companies who have one of their employees move from here to China, and they live down the street from the factory just so that they can be in and out of that bitch every day, talking to the factory about exactly how they want things done.
But let them speak Chinese,
And that too. I know a guy who made his wife learn Chinese.
bro. He's tough.
She spent 7 years learning fucking Chinese.
And let me tell you this: I'm sure they made I'm sure they did very well for themselves.
I think she left his ass too. Damn.
Wow.
I know, right? Probably because she was making her learn Chinese.
No, bro. You know what I mean? What they call them bosses? They say Laobans. Yo, you know what I mean? The bosses out there. She might have got snatched up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, shit. I don't know.
Let's hope not. Oh shit, man.
Okay, so you stay out there for how long? Like 7 years?
7 years. I came home. The first run was 4 years. I came home for like 27 days, and then I went back for another 3 years.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And remember, I told you, I said I found the money, right?
Yeah.
At that time, I'm like, I start talking my shit on Twitter. I'm like, yo, it's been a little over 10 years. I think it's about time this group get back together.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, it's like now or never type shit.
And people really reacted to that?
People really reacted, and some promoter reached out to me. That's the one who did all the Millennium tours. He's doing the New Edition tour, and the Boyz II Men. So, you know what I mean? So, you know, and I call that just from believing, man. So now I'm in China. I come back. Now I got an offer.
Yeah. Was it,
you know what I'm saying?
Well, was it hard to get the rest of the group on board?
That took about 2 years.
2 years.
That took about 2 years.
Mm.
Yeah, that took about 2 years. And I was back in China on the ground with the money. But I got to move through, you know, and thank God I had somebody, you know, shout out to my man, Gary, man. Shout out to, you know, he believed, you know what I mean? And he worked with me to help make it happen. It was difficult. And there was a lot of different pieces that needed to be oiled and massaged to make that happen.
So, I mean, at that point, you guys have not spoken for 7 to 8 years?
No, way longer than that. I'm sure people, we've seen each other here and there, little moments, but like on a consistent basis, no.
Because you didn't really have like a reason to hate each other, right?
No, we hate each other. I think there's just miscommunications.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like all that stuff, like everyone's healed, matured, and communicated and expressed and moved on.
But in order to get the tour to work, was it just you kind of like calling people and texting people, or was there like were other people on the back end trying to make it happen? Or
when you got the promoter who believes, right, who's already allowed for me to be the first point of contact, allow for me to, you know, maneuver it and put the pieces in place and connect the right sides that's going to help bring it, like Demir Lethbridge. Like when I had the first meet, when I'm back, you know, I know who to strategically bring, right? So I got Demir, you know, now I got, you know, J Boog, and I got Fizz. You know what I'm saying? That's his manager. So it's like if he can smell it out and vet it out and say, oh, okay, this is good. Maybe one of the other group members would be like, oh, okay, cool. Maybe I'll have this guy strategically talk to this one and say, hey, yo, this is real. Now you got this one talking to this one. Okay, well, Amari wants to adjust this deal out to make it, you know, for this and that. You know what I mean? So, and then Amari goes on tour. But, you know, in my mind, I brought opportunity to my circle. You know what I'm saying? Now let's figure out how we massage it. So, yeah. And then, you know, of course, you know, it brings me favor because, you know, I just want what's fair. Remember I told you I like to share? I want what's fair. Do I feel like I like some people say, yo, did you like ask for like a, you know, bonus or this? And no, the bonus for me is seeing my group members make some money, the legacy being fulfilled, Amari going out and having some solo tours. And I'm happy that I was able to contribute to my brand. This is the same guy we're about to go out on tour with 7 years later. And I'm about to do very well on this tour, right? So, I'm just happy and I'm just grateful.
So then when you guys actually go on tour, is it hard to all get on the same page?
No.
Weird to get back to
it's business. It's about everybody approaching the situation as professionals and as adults. And maybe at times I feel like I didn't approach that situation. I probably approached it the same way I had, you know, the way I left it, like the way I left when I was like 19. Me and J Boog was talking about, I believe he probably referenced that to me. I'm sure that came from him. But that was the approach with that, right? So I just thought that with this approach, everyone's had some time to grow up and mature and understand and get married and have more kids and and understand, this is business, but we're having so much fun with each other. We're joking in our group chat, you know what I'm saying? Because we didn't have one of those for years. I would always look up like, damn, NSYNC got a group chat. I wish we would get ours. So yeah, I think I'm probably the one that made it.
Because it's a weird thing that happens where I've seen this just happen so many times in the music industry where there's a group, you're together and you're together because of friendship, and then there's a lot of ego and passion mixed up in it and everything like that, and people have things they want to do with their career and their time, etc.
Right.
And then you fast forward 10, 15, 20 years, whatever it is, and a lot of times the group is able to just kind of come together and say, look, we're all grown-ups, we all are hustling, working in some capacity. Right. This is clearly the thing that we could do that could make the most money during X period of time. Yeah. Let's take all of the pride, put it aside, and let's just come together. It doesn't matter if we like each other. Let's just do what we got to do.
Yeah, I think we had to like each other.
I mean, it's tough to dance and sing on stage with someone you hate.
I mean, that's funny you said that. I'm going to talk to the guys about this. I think we really, deep down inside, we had to like each other to even want to do it. Your business, because I hear a lot of groups say, there's some groups that don't even talk to each other at all.
Yeah. And you hear about people going on tour and have separate buses, separate everything. And you're kind of like, oh shit, y'all don't even have to be friends.
Yeah, you know what? It is business, but they're deep down inside. The stories that we share, there's only the four of us that can share these stories with each other. So the fact that we, got our group chat, we be sharing stories, and it's a moment in time that we shared, and we get to hear each other's stories, which is pretty awesome. You know what I mean? So I love my brothers. I don't take none of them for granted. Being my experience in my life and how I grew up, and being on my own at a young age, and I've experienced foster homes and group homes very for sure a few times. But when you're out of the home, and you're growing up, these people become your family. So for me, I took it really hard, but I'm just happy where we're at.
So you don't think this would work if you guys secretly completely hated each other? It had to be some level of appreciation.
It's too much love there. Yeah. It was too much magic. I would have to disagree. Yeah, okay. I don't think it would work.
Definitely. But so how many times have you guys gone on tour now that you're back on the road?
Well, shit. I mean, before we did the tour 7 years ago, that was 16 years in the making.
Okay.
Yeah, we were broken up for a minute.
Yeah.
But I was consistent with the pursuit.
Yeah,
it was the right time. I believe it was the right time. You had me pushing, you had the fans, all the supporters that wanted to, see us finish what we wanted to finish or needed to finish, and so I just felt like I feel like that was a good business at that time. I feel like this one is more. There was love there, of course, because we knew we loved, but I feel like there's even more. Like I feel like we're back.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, that's what I feel like. I feel like B2K is back. I feel like we're going to possibly create some more opportunities and create more projects besides this tour. I don't know what yet, but I feel that's coming from me, and I hope that's the case.
I mean, just imagining this scenario and all of these big personalities on tour and all of this past tension and stuff. I'm like, wow, the no alcohol policy is probably a really good idea.
I mean,
because that's how these personalities are going to collide.
Yeah, bro. I've had some experiences in the past in my life where that just you tap that little alcohol. People start talking shit. You don't necessarily fight, but you talk shit. You so just keep that shit up. Keep that away.
Yeah. No, I've seen that a million times where they'll be all right. Bunch of street dudes together, bunch of gangsters together,
bro.
You throw alcohol in the mix, like they could all be hella cool, hella polite, hella civilized. You throw alcohol in the mix, it's a totally different story.
I'm trying to tell you,
seen this happen many times.
Listen, same here, dude. Same freaking here. Man.
Definitely.
So that's all this stuff is like. These are really good questions. So it's like, man, documentary would be crazy, bro.
Yeah,
I would love to do that.
I feel like a lot of lesser groups have got the documentary treatment, and
that new edition one was crazy.
Yeah,
I've seen some. I've seen a few. You haven't seen it?
No,
it's worth a watch.
I just watched the Beach Boys one.
I watched theirs. Why not?
It was great. It was on Disney Plus.
Okay,
it was pretty fascinating just to see America change so much throughout the course of their career.
Right.
And it's just wild to see them kind of trying to keep up with the trends and everything. Because at that time, it was like you saw America through the Beach Boys go from like super straight laced. Everybody's wearing matching outfits. Every song is.
Who came right after the Beatles?
Then the Beatles come out, and the Beatles are straight, free expression, crazy, psychedelic. We're doing drugs, we're wilding out.
Yeah, pretty wicked.
And the Beach Boys tried to fall in line with them, and they had a crazy rivalry for a long time. It was pretty.
Yeah, but the Beach Boys, I mean, they can stay touring, right? I'm sure they probably still tour today, maybe.
The
right?
main dude died like last year, or earlier this year, yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
But
and that's why motherfuckers need to reunite, because you never know when that's coming. When somebody dies, then this opportunity is kind of gone.
Yeah, that's kind of sad. I mean, we've seen a few groups that's tried to continue.
After that, it's tough. Yeah,
it's kind of rough. It's kind of hard.
Yeah,
it's kind of hard.
That would be tough. Okay, so at one point, R. Kelly helped you write some songs, or what was your relationship with him?
That ties into Dave. That ties politics. That ties into we met him, being in the industry. When we first went to go meet him, was because we knew we was about to start working with him. That came from Dave McPherson.
Okay.
Also, there was a request back in the day. I would always say I couldn't wait to work with other producers. We had our in-house producers, but there's other producers that I knew that was like the Timberlands, the Pharrells, the R. Kellys. I knew those people were out there, and they would probably give us a smash hit. So I was super happy that I had an opportunity to, through Dave McPherson, he was working with R. Kelly at the time. He had him put some few records on us. He did like 3 or 4 records for us, 3 or 4 or 5 records for us. And smash.
So you got to see him sitting in the studio writing that? Brought it?
That record was originally R. Kelly's record.
Really?
He put that in the vote when he was doing one of the, all the politics he had. You know what I mean, baby? The baby turn around, let me see a sexy booty go bump, bump, bump.
Right.
I believe that was in the vote.
So did you get to actually see him as a songwriter, or was it always just kind of delivered?
I've been in the studio with him a few times, but no, it was always like him chilling or him coming to watch us do our vocals or something like that.
Yeah.
But like, now a custom record he made, I wasn't there, but a custom record he made for B2K was Girlfriend.
Oh, okay. Wow.
What a Girl Wants. And I want to say Bump That, and there was this other movie, the other song he made, it was called Dance, which was supposed to be the first single for, and you can hear that record online. That record was originally for B2K for the You Got Served soundtrack. But R. Kelly got so many records in the vote, which ones he were custom made for us. Like you can hear, because he's like, I'm a Gemini, raspy. Like you can tell he's in the character of creating these 2 songs for the artist, and you can tell with records that was probably in his catalog.
As far as you know, did he write most of his own stuff as well? Yeah. See, that's crazy. He's got to be like one of the greatest songwriters in history.
I believe he's super phenomenal. He's super phenomenal. I mean, and he had other writers come in too, I'm sure. Little Ronnie wrote Same Girl for him and Usher and shit like that. Yeah, Little Ronnie, I need a record, man. What's up?
What was it like being around him back in the day, though? Did you see anything interesting behavior-wise, or it was pretty whatever?
No, I never seen anything crazy. I was, we played basketball, or we were there. We played basketball. I think he was playing basketball with his team. We were at the same, we went to where he plays basketball. We, hung out at his house. That was pretty cool because I remember we flew back from the UK, and we had showed him the Girlfriend video. So he was like, yeah, this is dope. You know what I mean? Because we had Mr. Biggs in there. We picked up the whole kind of like, Mr. Big story. You know what I mean? So in the video, Mari's, he gets his girl's number. Mr. Biggs pulls up, picks up his daughter. He's like, yo, you stay away from my girl, my daughter. He's like, you've been warned. Mr. Biggs is like, Big Boy is like, stay away from his daughter. You know what I'm saying? So, and then we got like Will Smith being our godfather, and so that was pretty cool. So he enjoyed that moment. I know he was going through a lot of stuff, but he was really cool. I asked him, I was like, yo, man, you mind if I record? Because we were all like in his boxing gym, and we were hanging around. And before I left, I just gave him the tape, and I said, yo, just give me a copy whenever you get a chance. But we see him in the studio, like, yo, we in Chicago, we about to pull up. We about to go to Cheesecake Factory. You want anything? Yeah, bring me some of the mashed potatoes. So I was cool, and I had a great relationship with him. I would always call him and ask for ideas and different shit like that. Or if I seen him in the club, he would never like walk past me, make me feel like a peon. He'd be like, yo, shit, walk in with me type shit. So ours a real nigga.
Was it like when the documentary came out about him? Did you watch it? Or was that something you tried to just?
I've seen some clips.
Okay.
But for the most part, humans go through things. Humans make mistakes. And I believe anybody can be forgiven and move on with their life if they if they're putting in the work to be real.
Do you think he got a raw deal, or do you think that he was kind of what they described him as?
Man, I don't know, man.
You just didn't really have the first-hand experience.
Yeah, I mean, I never experienced anything like that. But I mean, God forgives you. You move on in life. You know what I mean?
No, definitely. It's a wild fall from grace when you think about just like how huge he was, and how, I mean, realistically, his songs, despite his cancellation or whatever, have kind of been resistant to a lot of that. You still hear them,
bro. You fucking hear R. Kelly records everywhere, bro.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, it's life, man.
Yeah, no, definitely.
It's crazy.
Okay, why do you have beef with Whack 100? I didn't even know about this.
I have no beef with Whack 100.
You don't?
No.
Oh, okay.
He said that.
I don't think he said that. I think my friend Remo helped me put together questions.
Bro,
he snuck that one in there.
I just seen Whack today. Whack, respectfully, I think this is my opinion. He be trolling a lot.
Oh, okay.
That's what I think. What he's serious. You know him more. I mean, I know him. You know him. You do a lot. Do you think he be trolling?
It's a thin line. Because he believes a lot of the crazier shit that he says. A lot of the things that people are the most.
I think he be trolling sometimes.
Yeah. Because he always wants to say, I don't lie. I never lie. Point out a time that I lie. And then you'll point out a time they lie. And he'll be like, I was trolling. That's different. I was trolling.
We know Wack's a G. We know he a gangster. We know he put in his work. But I feel like there's also like that Whack. And then I feel like there's the entertainment Whack. That's just my own personal opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I love him. I respect him. That's my dude. Like if I need him to do something for me or he need me to do something, like we get to it. Yeah. Love and respect him, man. Yep.
For sure. I have to bring this up, but there was a clip that went viral.
Oh shit.
Of you and our good friend Orlando Brown getting into an intense verbal exchange, and some gang terminology was thrown out there. And this was very shocking to a lot of people. And
that's funny.
I mean, I feel like there was an effort made to strip this from YouTube at some point too, because it's kind of tricky to find the clip.
Oh my God, bro. Man, we did Bad Boys. That was what a hell of an experience. I believe I came back and I was super drunk. I left the set and I came back and I was super drunk. And I guess I started like, I wanted to have a conversation with him, but I was probably too drunk, but I wasn't serious at all. You know what I mean? But it was more like, you my little brother. I've been knowing you for a while. You are talking about a conversation that me and you had on camera with these people. There's a miscommunication. Probably shouldn't try to have that conversation while we're drunk. Because now, like you said, you put the liquor in it. Now they don't know if I'm serious or if I'm not serious. Because I wasn't going to do anything to him. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't going to fight him. I'm a producer on the show, by the way, as well.
Okay.
Right? So I'm also thinking producing a scene as well. Right? So, Cuz Blood, I ain't no gangbanger. That shit came out however it came out, which is pretty funny. And
he probably started it, right?
No, the thing is that like, I'm producing the show. We trying to get to the bag on the thing. So, all right, let's do the boxing thing. Lemmy's like, cool, let's do the boxing thing. I'm like, let's do the studio thing. Lemmy's like, cool, let's do the Lemmy thing. Because I don't believe, like, if I'm going to be fighting, come on the show to fight. All right, yo, don't you think they should take those rings off? I mean, I know niggas is fighting, but don't you think, like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to call some niggas and we going to, like, you know what I'm saying? Them niggas that shit dangerous. And I'm not, like, I've been in the game for a long time. So it's like, I don't want nobody hitting on me. You know what I'm saying? So I had to compose myself. And I just felt like that conversation that me and Orlando was having, in order for me to produce a good show, I actually got a real booking. That's not staged. That's not fake. I got a real booking. I'm trying to tell a dope story. What if we all, hey, Razb brought a booking to the table. It's for X amount of dollars and we all split it. Don't take it and turn a situation. I could be wrong, but don't take it and turn it and make it to tell everybody else as if, Razb is trying to get more money. And now it's turning, it's like a telephone game. So now it's turning something else, which gets messy, that causes another story, because everyone on that show is trying to ultimately create their storyline, not necessarily just for camera time, but they're trying to tell a story.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody thought that, like, I didn't put it on a bottle, so they needed a reason to try to approach me. You know what I'm saying? I just kind of watch how that show played out. I enjoyed the experience. I made a lot of money. I made a few $100,000 from the show. And then sometimes when you get so invested in the show, now you're creating stuff and creating problems that really there was no problems there in the first place, which ultimately creates good TV because now you allowed yourself to get sucked into the mess.
Okay, so you're like from that sort of area in Crenshaw, and like something just kind of got triggered in that moment where you were like, you know what?
I got to go back and look at the clip.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, but I ain't know. Like people say cuz and blood all the time, but I have no affiliation. But you could say triggered. Nah, I wouldn't say so.
Well, I almost saw the version of that.
Didn't he say blood? Sorry to overtalk you. Didn't he say blood? He's like, hey, blood.
Yeah.
And I was like, probably, hey, cuz, like it was probably like kind of like
kind of thing. But okay, I almost saw the real life version of that go left here because Orlando was here.
Okay.
And it was the day that we did the episode with him and 4 Extra.
Is that the dude when he called him out of his name? He was joking.
Yeah, but okay, so before that, it wasn't even on camera. 4 Extra comes in. He got like 4 homies with him. Okay. All from rolling 40s.
Oh, wow.
And one of them walks right up and is like saying what up to Orlando. And Orlando said right up, what up, blood? Kind of aggressive, like a little bit not. And he immediately hits him with the like, hey, this Crip, I ain't no blood. Like it got real awkward for a second. A couple people had to be like, no. It ain't like that. Like, you know, like they shut it down, but it was kind of like a weird moment where it was like, okay, Orlando, you probably... Yeah, you gotta be careful.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I came back on the set drunk.
Yeah,
create some good TV. At the same time, like, you know, people can take you out of context. It can take it all out of context when you are trying to articulate yourself, articulate yourself, and you're drunk.
Definitely. What that's a good one. What's your relationship with Orlando at this point, and how do you feel about the headspace that he seems like he's in?
You know, you know, we worked together on the show. I've seen Orlando. I'm happy for him to just continue to grow, right? And he seems to me, from what I've seen, he's in a great headspace. My relationship, I wouldn't say we have much of a relationship. We don't talk all the time, but like if I see him or if he reaches out to me and he needs me within reason, you know, me or my team could, you know, we'll try to support how we can support. You know, I mean, I believe he got his $1 million chicken going on right now. So, you know,
what is that?
I believe he's selling chicken. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, I mean, he's an entrepreneur.
Good for him.
Yeah. So, but yeah, other than that, I mean, we work together on the show and that's that.
No, definitely. Shout out to Orlando. I haven't seen him in a minute, but man,
I think he should get into acting though. He should get back into acting. Somebody should give him a TV show. He should get back into acting. A podcast would be good from the Nick Funny. When I seen the dude on the Funny Marco show with the I'm like, he's just funny.
Yeah. No, but I mean, he seems like he's got some substance abuse issues there. I feel like that might stop him from being a great actor.
Do you believe he had experiences in the past and he's past that, or do you think that's something that's current?
I think that's current.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's not good then.
Because I've kind of seen him come in here like pretty normal.
Okay.
And then pretty quickly turn into a very different version of himself. And it didn't seem like he was just putting on a character. It felt like...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's liquor. I don't know if it's anything else, but...
Okay. Well, Orlando, you need to come back up here and clear that up, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we on that ass, Orlando.
Hey, man, people just care about you, yo. Like, I want to see you, you know, back acting, bro. Get back in front of the screen, bro. That's where you belong.
Do you think you could whoop him in a fight?
We had a boxing match on the show.
Oh shit!
Like, remember I was telling
you dominated.
We boxed. Orlando's funny. Orlando's producing too. He was like, man, it's the time, man. You did give me back. You knocked me out. I was like, bro, I'm not going to knock you out. You know what I'm saying? We just box. We spar. We tagged each other a few times. And, you know, like, you know, I wanted to go on that show that I got some integrity, even though I got drunk over the night or two and got pissed off. But, you know, but if motherfuckers keep putting your hands on you, it's like, okay, do you retaliate? Do you get bloody with these? Do you fight? Where is this going? Because where I'm from, we don't just fight. We're fighting with something. Somebody's going to have to break us up. Because someone's not getting up type energy, or we're gonna fight till we're tired, and you know what I'm saying. I'm not gonna lose. Maybe I'm gonna pick something up. Maybe I'm gonna cut your ass. Like you know what I mean. Like you know what I mean. Like that. No, seriously. If you fighting for your life, and you get dominated, you're not gonna pick this up and maybe hit a motherfucker in the head. Like I don't know. I'm just saying.
Pow. Yeah.
I mean, you know, shit. I may have to, you know.
Oh, choke him with the headphone. Why not?
I need to get up out of here. But for the most part, I know if I was in the moment, I'm stopping because I'm not trying to like go to jail. Like it's not that serious. I would probably just do something to like get away.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'd rather run, bro. It's not that serious, bro.
Yeah.
Like, come on, bro.
Especially once you ever been sued for hitting somebody? I guess I have not, but I've thought about it a lot.
But a security guard actually hit someone, and we had to. Yeah, we spent a lot. Everybody spent a lot of money.
See, that's the real bullshit. When you pay someone to be around you to protect you, and then you end up having to pay for his bad decisions.
I wish he didn't hit him. You know what I mean? Because I think he just could have held him back, but he put up the baton. It was like, bap. I was like, fuck. So no, I didn't actually have to pay that lawsuit.
Okay,
thank God, actually. But courts, 15 grand here, this and community service, all that shit. Like, you know what I mean? That it all adds up after a while, brother.
No, definitely.
That's that when I was young.
Okay, so when the thing was going on with Omarion, where Lil Fizz was dating his baby mom, at a certain point, that made the touring thing untenable. I'm assuming, like that pressure, that tension. Like, what role did you play in?
I didn't play no role in none of that stuff.
You weren't trying to be the peacemaker.
All that stuff, man. All that stuff was in the past.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying.
So that's old news now.
Yeah, all that stuff was in the past, man.
Okay. See, that's what I'm talking about, though, when I say that, like, in order to have the group go on the road, you got to be able to basically, like, take the friendship part out of it.
It's still business. I mean, all right, from my own observation, I sat back and I watched. Everybody was professional. Everyone still got up there, did their job, and went home. You know what I mean? So, yeah, maybe at that time, I don't think with the way the group was, that's not we operate better when we're in the space of, we're not just coming here for work because it's business. Like, you know what I mean? This stuff that we're putting together now is so magical and it's so dope, you know what I mean? Because a lot of those things that's in the past has been addressed. I mean, you know what I mean? A lot of these stuff be just miscommunications, but then when you have media involved, it could blow it up. And now everyone has an opinion and perception of what this may be.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when that was like the most viral Vlad TV clip of that year. That shit was huge.
I mean, hey man, it's all water under the bridge.
yeah, totally. Okay, I only got a couple more questions.
No, you're good. We just chilling, man. I'm happy to be here.
Is there a B2K album possibility?
There's a strong conversation about that.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I believe that B2K needs some music to actually go on this tour, right? We have some nostalgic records. That's cool. Mari has some hits. I think that's great as well. You know what I mean? But if you added a few, like even an EP or a single or two, I think that would spice the tour up. I think that would be dope. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if people really want to hear music from B2K. Records not really selling nowadays. I mean, so it's kind of like it would be truly for a true no. A good record is a good record. You can get new fans and new supporters, right? Yeah. So, but initially it would have to come for the diehards. I would like to see that happen.
And I see a lot of energy behind, like, when the Backstreet Boys or NSYNC are going on tour and shit like that. It feels like a lot of these the women that are going, they're in their 40s and they're just like,
they got money
and they think it's so cool because, like, realistically,
it's their era, bro.
During your teenage years or whatever, like, you only get so many groups or artists that you're going to be nuts over, and a lot of people by the time they hit 19, 20, they're just not getting into new music like that. That time period of their life is so important that it just holds reverence in their mind.
It's a blessing. It's a blessing, bro. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. I'm excited, bro. Like I'm serious. If you want to come to the show in LA, let me know.
I actually really do. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, either LA, Oakland, doing Vegas.
Yeah,
and I'm sure we're gonna do like Arizona on the West Coast.
Nice.
So just pick which one, and we got you.
Definitely. Have you ever made love to a former fan or a current fan who goes to one of these tours? Are you above fucking a fan?
That's a TV show. It's a fucking good one. You can call it above fucking a fan.
I mean, it's a decision.
There's a lot of integrity that we were raised with to not, but I will tell you this. I remember the very first time I fucked a fan and a condom busted too. And I was like, fuck, this is exactly what I get. I shouldn't have.
Now you're together forever.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It was crazy. And let me tell you the coldest one, bro. I woke up and she was gone. I said, yo, this is crazy. Bro, I was like 18 or 19, dog.
And you never heard back about this?
I never seen this chick. You know what I'm saying? I just want to know who she is.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, like, what was going on? I think I was just probably so excited. That was. Remember I told you that was our last tour before we broke up. We went to Chili's and we ordered drinks. Like, we were starting to get older, starting to experiment and stuff like that. That's, I believe, I can't speak for everybody else, but that was like, I remember the first time I actually had sex with, one of my supporters.
Wow.
It's pretty It's pretty easy to get it too.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
Like, wow, bro. You a wild boy too, man. I was on the internet, man. I was like, oh, this guy's a rock star. Right here. Adam's a rock. Yo, Adam's a rock star, bro. This is the same guy. He's a lot of people's heroes out here.
Oh yeah, but all right. Here's the thing. By the time a woman is, 35, 40,
yeah,
sexually, they know what they want. And
how they want.
That's the fucking audience that you guys are performing to on these tours, I'm assuming. So it's like you got a whole room full of women who realistically, like, they don't need to be told what to do. They know what they want. And they want these motherfuckers on stage putting dick down their throat.
Oh, you know what? They fantasize. They want to cook for them. They want to, B2K was like, I think my boy Baby Blue said this, and I'm going to say this wrong, and I'm going to get it. I'm going to text him today because I want to get this right. But he was like, B2K was like, he broke down Bow Wow. B2K was like their first boyfriend, or Bow Wow was like their first crush. B2K was like their first boyfriend, and Pretty Ricky was like their first fuck. You know what I'm saying? And then Chris Brown, it was like, you know what I mean? So there's levels, because B2K was still clean. We were talking about, go back and listen to our first record at 15 and 16.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Pushing it like that. Yeah. If we got to see a few more albums, we might have got to see
we would have got
your side of you. Yeah.
So they was already fantasizing before, that image, gets tarnished.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, they love us, you know what I'm saying? So they come out and they support, and I that's priceless. And I believe that's, the way the world is and everything has been like isolated and divided. And even though, individually people got their own followers. And I like it that way anyway, because like what Chris Brown went through in his life and his career, came a point where the line was going to be drawn, and now he only has his followers. That's all you really want anyway. Don't you just want your supporters?
You need a cult.
Don't you just want your supporters?
Yeah.
Yeah, you need a cult. Don't you just shit. I mean, they just showed out for him.
Best thing you can have. If you are
showed out for him.
If you're the type of artist or the type of creator who can put out a shirt and sell 1,000 shirts,
that's good money.
Go on tour and sell a bunch of tickets all over the country, or drop a project and your fans actually support it. I mean, nothing compares to that. Because if you got that, then you really don't need the label. You really don't need shit.
That's the bag right there, bro.
Yeah.
That's the bag right there. So no, salute to everybody out there, pushing the culture forward. You, all the artists, R&B is popping right now. I mean, rappers, accountability is everything. Everybody just keep growing up.
Facts.
Like for real.
Razb, man, what else you want the people to know about that you got going on?
No, I just wanted to come pull up, here. I was honored to have the opportunity to come up here. Like, your shit is like popping, bro. You know what I mean?
Sure, man.
And just to be able to come and like check in with the people, you know what I mean? Let the people know, like, I'm in a good headspace. I got married, I took some time off, did a lot of therapy, you know what I'm saying? And really, went back to address some childhood traumas in my life from, with my mom and so on and so forth. And I'm just happy to be in the space that I'm at, and because of that, things are coming my way. You know what I'm saying? Like, deals are closing left and right. I'm great. The B2K tour and this opportunity, and I feel like, as at 40 years old, just turning 40 this year, I feel like I've arrived as a grown man. I'm not dead. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sprung out on drugs. You know what I'm saying? And I'm happy to be thriving and paving the way for other artists to keep going. So other than that, man, I'm just chilling. We just came to check in. Tour coming real soon. We got a crazy commercial promo dates about to drop really soon, bro. And like I said, I got tickets for you and the fam, bro.
Let's do it, man. Razb, I appreciate you, dog.
Appreciate you, man.
Much love.
Thanks, bro.
My guy.
I'm in.
No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world. Check us out on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, etc. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, man, y'all have a good one, though, man. Raz talked about a lot of stuff. B2K reunion coming soon, he said. Bad Boys and all that other stuff. But y'all check it out, man. We going. Peace, love y'all.